Hi, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing? I'm doing all right. I haven't put anything up yesterday because my Boo Medea's Halloween movie trailer review actually was doing really well. But I decided to put something up today because I found something very awesome. Um, because there's a new video game coming out and a reboot of a video game, and obviously the second or third installment in that franchise. They're moving ahead with a new Tomb Raider film based on the last few Tomb Raider video games. Tomb Raider film director Roar Uthog discusses Tomb Raider game reboot and how he intends to incorporate Lara Croft's character development into the movie. He's actually quoted by saying, I think making Lara Croft feel like a real human being, that's definitely something we want to bring into the big screen as well. I think it'll make people want to relate to Laura as a character. And basically hasn't specifically said that the film will be explicitly based off the reboot game series, but it sounds like it will be at least heavily influenced by it. As you know, basically the other films and video games did so well that he now has to basically compete with his own franchise and his own films. And since Tomb Raider film and video games have done so well, even with the award-winning Rise of the Tomb Raider, has been praised for its excellent writing. So hopefully this guy and Geneva Roberts, Dort, can come up with a script that's on par and with a good backstory for the game. The source is actually IGN, so I'm going to definitely put that up. This is just one of many photos online. I can't even be certain this is going to be the actress, so I'm not even going to bother to name this female in the role. But this is one of the actual females that are actually taking up the mantle for the movie, or at least, they're going about it. So it's unfortunate that the character isn't looked at a little bit differently in terms of how they select their actresses, but basically they want a curvy female. Not meaningful, but definitely curvy. This lady has both. Although I have to be honest, the way I'm looking at her, she doesn't really look like the type that, would fit the replacement. So, is what it is. But in the end of the day, it's just a movie. It's not real life. I don't feel that Angelina Jolie is going to, get a new role, obviously, in her elder age, even in a Tomb Raider reboot movie. But it would be nice to see her in there kicking ass alongside this chick. But it is what it is, folks. And they're trying to do a backstory, and they're trying to reinvent the series, so all they need is an ex-model who looks good and, less clothing, and they can teach her to move around and run faster and do this and do that and look this way or look that way. And basically that's what it takes nowadays to be, an actor, actress, and basically any other film or industry thereof. It takes the look, the education, and then the rest they can just kind of fill in as you go along. So there's a new Tomb Raider movie coming out, and I, for one, love the Tomb Raider movies. I think it actually speaks to guys along with gals. Not only did Angelina Jolie do the film well, but 10, 20 years from now, people will be looking at the Tomb Raider movies that were put out like 5, 10 years ago as classics. Just as they will look at the original Mummy series as classics. So, all in all, folks, I think a new Tomb Raider movie based on the games is nice, but I gotta be honest, I grew up with the PlayStation's Tomb Raider, and I grew up with the puzzles and all this other stuff that was not in any of the newer games. And to be honest, I think that the first two that I played of the new video game series are not like necessarily in comparison to the old franchise of games. For Tomb Raider, I think that anyone playing the new ones will have a very difficult time playing the old ones, even with upgraded graphics, because there were so many puzzles and so many different things you had to do. But again, folks, it's just a video game and just a movie, but this film should be kick-ass if they select the right female. I would love to see somebody worthwhile play Lara Croft, but I really don't see any major Angelina Jolies showing up that are really hitting the stardom button. So it is unfortunate. This is coming from Game Rant, and I got one over here from IGN, which basically says the exact same thing. So you're not missing anything for me not showing something. So thank you guys.